Guys, how's it going? Stout Man coming back at you once again, and today, as you can probably tell from the sound of my voice, I'm still sick. But I am very glad to report that I am feeling better. Not a whole lot better, quite frankly. Just the slightest bit less dead, if you will. The past few days has just been like, right after I get done with work, I just head to bed and lay there like a dead guy for several hours until I pass out. And then I wake up and go work and then go back to the bed. You know, the same disgusting routine of just, let's get back in bed for another 16 freaking hours. Like, oh, it has been so annoying. So, yeah, very glad that I'm starting to feel better. I'm already, as I'm doing these videos, this is about the time that I would be heading to bed, but right now I'm not. And all day I've been forgetting to take some more of these bad boys. So, even though I forgot to take some Advil, I'm still feeling better. That's a pretty good sign. So, yeah, hopefully the worst of it is over for moi. But that being said, I wanted to talk to you about some things that I got from Amazon recently. Two of them were items that I got basically for free from an Amazon gift card. I've mentioned in the past, I get these Amazon gift cards for links that I put in the description of my videos, links that I put on articles that I write, stuff like that. So, yeah, it totaled up to be like only 18 bucks this time around, but it was enough for me to get a couple of things that I've had on my wish list that I've been wanting to pick up for quite some time. So I decided to go and pick those up. The other two that I picked up were literally just at the best price that I'd seen them at for quite ever, I think. I'm not going to bother, I'll mention when I show them, I guess, but otherwise I'm not going to bother to, point out right now which ones were free and which ones were just really cheap. So let's go ahead and start off with 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I'm trying to remember if I saw this in theaters. I must have seen it in theaters because this is my first time owning it on Blu-ray, obviously. And I don't believe it was ever streaming on anything. I think I saw it in theaters. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't think it was, fantastic. Thought it was okay. Thought it was like a 7 or so out of 10. I love John Goodman in this. He did a fantastic job kind of making you feel like this guy is a little out there. He's kind of screwed up, you know what I mean? And the way it was shot was very effective in terms of depicting that side of human nature. Can we trust this guy? What's actually going on? You know what I mean? So, yeah. In terms of it being like a suspense thriller like that, I really enjoyed it because I like suspense thrillers. I like suspense movies and I like thriller movies. So, yeah. In terms of it being like a sci-fi horror movie, there wasn't that much of it there. There was, you get some glimpses, but they really are just glimpses. So, it's hard to say that it's a great sci-fi horror movie, even though it's based on a sci-fi horror movie, or sci-fi movie that had horror elements, and it's part of the franchise that is rooted in horror and sci-fi. So, yeah, very interesting, I guess you could say, in that respect. But whatever the case, I liked it enough that I definitely wanted to pick it up, but it just wasn't dropping down in price, so this finally went down to, I believe it was about $6. And at that price point, I'm like, well, $6 ain't bad. I believe this did have a slipcover. Notoriously, this one came with a slipcover that was about that big. It didn't even cover the full case. It literally just covered 2/3 of the case, basically. Which, what? Why even do a slipcover? Slipcovers are supposed to be rare, valuable, collectible things, little collectibles you get for buying it the first day it comes out or whatever. Because they don't actually offer slipcovers typically after the first print run. So why would you do that on the first print run? I can understand doing it on the second print run or something, but on the first print run, like the one that you want to get people to go out and buy your freaking Blu-ray, and you cheap out on the materials and provide what some would say is the worst slipcover ever. Just kind of silly, but I liked the movie. I still wanted it on Blu-ray, so of course I'm not beat up that it didn't come with the silly little slipcover that isn't even a real frickin' slipcover. Discs are in pretty good condition, came with DVD and Blu-ray. So yeah, even though it was used, very, very happy with that. The next one I got here was one of the ones I got for free, or free-ish. I think the total actually that I paid for both of these combined was like $2 and some change after the $18 was taken off. And this is a movie that a friend recommended to me, so I've been meaning to check it out, and well, now I can. This was brand new for $5.99, Once Upon a Time in America. Very long movie, but it's a Sergio Leone movie that I've never seen before, and I've always, or not always, but I've been meaning to check out, at least since I, got more into film in the past 10 or 15 years, you know what I mean? Of course, the music is by Ennio Morricone. I've heard some of the music because I got a CD of Ennio Morricone's stuff, and it was on there. So I've heard some of the music. But without the context of the actual film, I honestly didn't really like Ennio Morricone's score in this movie. So I'm hoping that watching it and having more of the context, I'll appreciate the music a little bit more, because then I'll be able to remember some of the things that happened in the movie as I'm listening to the score. You know what I mean? So yeah, this appears to be a bit of like a crime drama in some ways. Again, it's very long, and this is the extended director's cut. How long? 251 minutes. That is over 4 hours long. Do the math. 120 minutes is 2 hours. 120 times 2 is 240 minutes. This is 250 minutes. This is over 4 hours long. This is an epic by any scale. So, yeah, I will definitely be watching this at some point. I don't know when. It's one you gotta set aside some time for, so, yeah. But to be able to get a 4-hour classic Sergio Leone movie with music by Ennio Morricone, Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci are in this. Yes, I am definitely interested to see this, with so many excellent actors attached, with the director attached, Sergio Leone. You can't go wrong with Sergio Leone. And with the composer, Ennio Morricone. Like, that just sounds like win, 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 win. You know what I mean? So, $5.99, a great deal on this one. So glad that I was able to pick it up and basically get it for free. Next up here, I found Smurfs: The Lost Village, which I picked up because I saw it on Netflix. I watched it on Netflix. And I decided to watch it on Netflix because I saw the trailer for it, I guess, like last year when it was coming out in theaters. And I thought to myself, holy crap, this actually looks like a good Smurfs movie. You know how, like, the first few Smurfs movies, they had the CGI Smurfs, but they were in, like, the real world with real people and real actors, you know? They tried to go the Alvin and the Chipmunks route, which I didn't really feel like Alvin and the Chipmunks was very good to begin with, but that was popular enough that it got several sequels, so I understand why they went that route. It's just like, I really wished they hadn't. So, when I was watching the trailer for this and I realized there's no people actors in this, it's all CGI animated. A fully CGI animated Smurfs movie based on the original cartoon? Oh my god! At the time I was just like almost excited about the fact that we're getting the Smurfs movie that I kind of wanted to see this whole time. But to be fair, I didn't actually see it in theaters. I waited until it came to Netflix, and then when I saw it on Netflix, I enjoyed it. I felt like it was really good. Again, it was actually the Smurfs movie that I wanted to see the first time around when the first Smurfs movie came out. So, definitely a great movie. I got this for like less than $6. This was really, really cheap. The value of this one has tanked. I don't know why, but it has absolutely tanked. And so you can find it for a pretty good price, and it's a good enough movie that I recommend picking it up if you ever enjoyed watching the Smurfs when you were a kid, because, well, it's got the nostalgia factor to it, and it's actually a fun, interesting movie. I thought it was pretty damn good. So, yeah, very, very happy to finally, or not to finally have this in my collection. Finally, I watched it on Netflix just the other week, and I finally have it. You know, that would be a bit of an overkill to use that term for this, in this case. But yes, very glad to have this in my collection, and so glad that they actually did Smurfs right for once in film. And then last, but not least, I used the rest of my $18 gift card to pick up the Flintstones Season 2, the original Flintstones cartoons. For those who don't know, I have the first season in the original black box set, or release, I guess you would say, from Hanna-Barbera, but I waited so long to get any of the other ones that the new releases here came out, and the old ones went out of the print, so the out-of-print ones are kind of fetching a little bit higher price, and I didn't want to pay that much, so I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited, and hummed and hawed and hummed and hawed, and then finally I got that gift card, and this was down to $12.99, so I decided to use the gift card to get the Flintstones Season 2 here. Yes, the big problem here, although they do come with a slipcover, the big problem is that they stack the discs. They don't have them like dink, 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 dink. They stack the discs. Or, you know, the best way to do it is if there's like a kind of like that page thing that they have where you can turn the page to get to the other side and get the discs on the other side when you need them. But they don't do that in this case. I've said before I might consider picking up, for the releases that I have like this, I might consider picking up some like individual cases like that so that the discs aren't stacked, because especially in the case of DVDs, you don't want stacked discs if you can help it. So I'm probably going to do that at some point, just not yet. So yeah, it is nice though that I can get these new Diamond Collection releases of, well, re-releases of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons that I want for a relatively decent price, because these usually at some point go down to about the $12-13 range, and that's not too much to pay for an entire season of something. And then on top of that, I got it all free because I got it with my Amazon gift card. So not bad at all. And of course, the one thing I like about it, the one thing I think is really great about these sets, is that unlike those bigger black sets that they had back in the day, this is just a regular DVD case. So if shelf space is an issue, these are a godsend. So yeah. Ultimately, that is it. That is all that I picked up this week as I look back, trying to actually get all the stuff that I purchased here. So, as you can see, I got animated with some titles and a little disturbed with others. Some somewhat disturbing titles here to go with some really like kid-friendly, family-friendly stuff there, you know what I mean? So yeah, they got the crime drama, crime boss kind of stuff, and the suspense thriller movie here, dark adult type movies, and Smurfs, Flintstones. Like, I think that describes me pretty well when it comes to my taste. On one hand, I really like all this, like, kid-friendly stuff that I watch all the time. Or not all the time, but every now and then. On the other hand, I also like the darker adult stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, that'll do it for me today. Thanks for watching, you guys. Catch you later. Peace.